How do I know I can recover in a timely manner? It's a key question that Unitrends can help answer with recovery assurance. With recovery assurance, we automate DR testing, proactively detect recovery issues, orchestrate your failover, and then provide detailed reports that show exactly how long it will take you to recover. Simply put, we eliminate the unknown. Recovery assurance removes the excuses that testing takes time, it disrupts, and it costs us money. We do all of that through automation, and we can do that locally and in the cloud, meaning that we can test a physical environment as well as a virtual environment. And then in the cloud, we can give you guarantees of restore for 24 and 1 hour SLAs. Recovery assurance increases confidence, helps you detect your obstacles, have detailed reports that show exactly how long it'll take to recover, and then test at the OS and the application level so that we can put a certification on a restore point that we know that we could use that and restore from it. Recovery assurance enables resiliency with orchestrated recovery. It also gives you the ability to test your patches, your upgrades, and even do a post-restore test in isolation using Instant Lab. It gives you known and predictable recovery times and procedures to reduce downtime and help you know that you can recover. When we think about surviving ransomware, there are 5 key pieces that have to be in place. Protect your data, use a secure platform, detect your ransomware, test your backups, and then recover. Recovery assurance helps us with the testing component of our ransomware survival kit. When I jump into the user interface, I'm going to go right into the local user interface and to the dashboard. In the local user interface, we have tiles, and I want to focus on the recovery assurance tile. When I click on the recovery assurance tile, we will see that we utilize what's known as a data copy access job, where we simply define the job, spin up the VMs, and then we start testing them. Now, in a virtual environment, we test all the way down to the OS level where we can test specific application level pieces. When we think about using a physical environment where we don't have a hypervisor, we do the same process where we spin up the VMs, except now we're using resources on the local appliance. And then when we're done testing, we take it all the way to the boot screen and take a screenshot verification that we're then able to share with you in a report. So once again, you know that you've got a good backup. If we think about backups, they have 2 eternal questions. The first being, how long will it take, or excuse me, the first being, do I have a good backup? And the second being, how long will it take me to recover? With all of the green check marks, we've clearly answered the question that we know that we've got a good backup. When I go back to my dashboard and go in and take a look at the second report that shows up right here, this is the compliance report. We're now addressing that second question. When we dive into the data copy access job, we clearly see that we define an RPO and an RTO, and then we test those. So the RPO is the time between backups, while the RTO is the time it takes to recover. With this test, we know that we can recover these VMs in 10 minutes. So now we've answered the question, do I have a good backup and how long will it take me to recover? Finally, we need to talk about how we can make recovery easier and faster. The data copy access job allows us to go in and select failover, where all that we have to do is pick the VMs we want to utilize, go in and select a green restore point. The green restore point, when I hover it over, tells me that it's certified. These are restore points that have already been tested. They've been through the process that we were looking at earlier. When I hit save, it's going to spin these guys up in the same fashion that we tested. So we can orchestrate it so that they spin up in the right order. And then we can also specify when and how they are utilizing resources once they restore. Similarly, we can use the same process inside of Instant Lab, where we would spin them up inside of isolation, where we could do that in groups. This allows us to do a patch, an application upgrade, and test it there before pushing it to production. It also allows us to spin up a restore point and then use a malware scanner to be able to test it and verify that we have no ransomware on that restore point. This is particularly useful for cyber insurance. Putting this together is pretty straightforward. We define a data copy access job. That data copy access job has 4 steps. We simply go in and we select the systems that we want to test. We define a profile where we provide both a production network and a sandbox network, as well as the profile and the other resources that we need. We then create a schedule so that it's automated. And finally, we get to go in and select options such as orchestration, where we decide who goes when and where, and then also where we can do application level tests inside of our virtual environment using VMware Hyper-V. We can do things like test SQL, also test a Windows service. Once we hit save, we have a fully automated job that will run, that will give us feedback of what it would take to recover, and then also give us a vehicle for doing that. When we think about managing this inside of UniView, UniView is going to be a global dashboard that allows us to manage all of our backups from one place. We can drill right down on the appliances, and if I expand on the appliance, we see all of the assets that they manage. We're going to see some green circles, and we also see some check marks. The green circles show us that we've got good backups. The green check marks is that same level of certification that we were seeing earlier on those green restore points. So we have a nice, easy graphical representation to be able to understand that you've got a good backup. So in short, recovery assurance does allow you to know that you could recover, and it even allows you to know exactly how long that will take.